Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us once again on this Discipline Therapy Thursday for a brand new and exciting episode of the Discipline Therapy Podcast with your two incredible hosts, Suhey Sotomayor, and with me always, seven-time published author, Mr. E.L. Discipline. Before we get into what we have to get into, you know how we have to do. I'm too good at this, man. It just keeps on going. All right. We want to give a big shout out to tonight's show is sponsored by, I'm going to spell it out because I'm probably going to say it wrong. It's JIAAO Sleep. They sent us this beautiful lumbar pillow support. And it's for, you could put it for your office chair. You could have it as a car seat. It has a back support. It's ergonomic back cushions, promotes back pain relief. It has memory foam with adjustable straps. Let me show you in the back. Look at that. And that's the little cushion for support as well. The main body of the pillow is designed wider and larger, which could fully support your waist and your back. And the height of the small round cushion can freely be adjusted by yourself. You can leave it where you want it to be. The combination of soft and hard parts can support your waist and back very well. The main body of the lumbar pillow is very soft and can make your waist and back comfortable. The small round cushion, this part right here, is relatively hard, not too hard. It's okay. And it provides a stronger support for your waist. So Mr. Yildisim is going to be checking that out and letting us know how that feels. Or did you already?
No.
It looks really, yeah, try it out. That looks comfy. You could use it even when you're doing the driving. You could, I was saying when you, because you know how you do the you edit, you could put it on that chair.
Yeah.
In your
Well,
desk chair.
that chair that
It already has one.
that I put together.
Yeah.
It already has one.
Maybe at work in your office.
Oh yeah.
Right?
You're right.
I'm jealous. But
oh yeah,
they're gonna
this
send
is
me one.
fire.
Right?
Okay. Okay, I got this for the rest of the show. Dope.
Nice.
All right. Everything else is good. We did the sponsors.
Everything else is good. We did the sponsor. They're Gio Sleep. They focus in the field of healthy sleep, and they've been at it for 13 years. The product link is Pixel PIXEL.XIN / the number 1 WT, the number 3 U, and the number 7. Check it out. They have a whole bunch of, they have a neck support. They have a travel pillow. That's the one I want to try. So get on that. Also, you want to check out Mr. Eel Discipline's, any one of his 7 published books. They're on Amazon.com. You can get them on Barnes and Nobles. He has them also for electronic versions for Kindle. You can download it on your phone. Also, we have in the descriptions for our store.
DisciplineTherapy.launchcart.store/shop.
Getting a dose weekly of discipline therapy. That's what you can get, people. All right. Now we're done.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Discipline Therapy Thursdays. We know y'all are fiends. That's why you keep coming back for more and more and more. Y'all know what that means. We're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy, where not everything is completely free, as we're on Patreon for a plethora of exclusive content for you to see. But what is free is a judgment-free, sucker-free, censor-free, sensitive-free, and some liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, and my favorite roll of blunt, but make sure the children are in bed. Why? Because we have that vulgar but soulful conversation. Prepare your mind to be fed. Light one up, inhale life, and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
We're here. All right. So we have season 13, episode 140. Is it helpful for men to get better at sex or women? And we have a special caller on the line. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Do you want to remain anonymous or do you want to state your name?
No, my name is Sir
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Ink.
Ink?
Yeah, Sir
Yeah,
Ink.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
Sir
Sir
Ink.
Ink.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Thank
that's
you.
also his Instagram. Go
Right.
follow him. He has a shop too. Like support that. Um, he's a dom. Been a dom in the BDSM lifestyle since 2009. So, you know.
All right.
Yes, yes.
All right. So we're gonna get into the topic. Mention what the topic was already.
Yes. Is
All
it
right.
better? Is it helpful for men to get better at sex or women?
I am going to lean in the direction of men. And the reason why I'm leaning in the direction of men is because I have been in the male grooming industry since I've been in high school. And I talk to men every day of my life. And now that I'm more mature, listening to men talk about sex, especially when we're talking about, like lifestyle things and things of that nature, I find myself educating these guys, trying to expand their horizons. But then you'd be surprised, a lot of guys over 40 say they only have 15 minutes in them to have sex. Like they're really come when I come, or I'll catch you later. So I'm thinking, man, it's going, I'm going to take a good half an hour plus for intimacy, for foreplay, at least, not may not be every time, right? But when you want to have meaningful and fulfilling sex, in my opinion, it involves foreplay, and that means taking your time. But I think a lot of guys get to a point in their lives where they're not experimental anymore past 30, so they're more just they just want to have sex.
So
So
they.
I agree that I think men, and I'm sorry, and let me just add this one piece about the ladies. The one thing about a man will be more closed off to more experimental things or expanding themselves, where a woman is she's comfortable with a man or just comfortable period with her partner. She'll be way more willing to do things and experiment with other things than men are.
Why do you think that is?
I think men are hardwired. I think men are hardwired and conditioned in this society to think that certain things would mean that you're not a man, or that you might be feminine or gay, or might have gay tendencies. There's a lot of that, and there's a lot of that culture that is reinforced in male circles, especially within the barbershop. So me being me being in a profession, having my own business, and actually being a leader of my business and having these kind of open conversations in the barbershop, some of it makes them, some of it makes them grab their chest, and some of it makes them say, okay, well, why? And then I try to explain those things to them, because some of it is trying to debunk what it's not and tell them what it is and how beneficial it can be. And guys aren't willing to open up a book and read about it. I feel as though women are more prone to research it, read about it, be interested in it. And guys kind of go off of what my friend tell me. Like, oh, my friend told me choking girls is kind of the thing to do, or this is a good hotel to go to. Like, we're guys are very communicative like that. Like, if your friend tell you that's cool, then they might try it or they think it's cool. That's
Hmm.
why I think is that way.
Mm.
That's interesting.
What do you think? So,
I think it's better for the men, and I can, as far as myself, like when I was growing up, in my way of thinking was, well, I don't want to get with a virgin because I don't know what I'm doing already. Like
Mhm.
I always wanted to, be with a man who had more experience than me. So I
Mhm.
definitely think that it's better for men to get better at sex and not women.
yeah, and that's
Mhm.
common for women to want.
Yeah,
You
right?
know.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we all three agree. Me personally, why I think it's more helpful, um, because just the woman's love language. Like women are more affectionate
Mhm.
and touchy, feely. than men. Like you know, when you were younger in the playground, right? Kindergarten, if she's hitting you, tag you're it or whatever, she likes you. You know what I'm saying? That's not common for a man to do, like hit a girl and then, you know what I'm saying? Like it's common for the woman to just be more touchy feely. Like those are cues that indicate or indications that she likes you, right? So, you know, in today's society, how things have changed, especially in America, and depending on the region, state, whatever is more tax in New York. So now women are working. Back in the days, the top guys who were making who were the top earners, 6 figures, 8 figures, 7 figures. Those men could get all the women. You know what I'm saying? Those women gravitated towards those men for survival. Nowadays, women are making their own money. So you can't just bring money to the table anymore because things have changed. So, you know, you said this before, Sue, in a couple of shows prior about what's more difficult, the money or the sex. And you were saying it's harder for the good dick because that's rare. You know, the money is
still
like,
agree.
okay, this guy's loaded. I could get another guy. That may not be as much money wage gap, but I could get another guy to spoil me in that monetary aspect. The sexual aspect, the sexual attraction is very hard. So why is it helpful? Because this will create high level intimacy with women. So one of the reasons why a lot of men can't keep women, have a difficult time getting women, don't really have good luck with women, are because they don't have those qualities. And obviously, a woman's not going to know if you're good in bed unless she's talking to whole bunch of other people or publicly blast you. But the women are more socially receptive. And they had to be back in the day. That's how they got away from the saber-toothed tigers. So they were more socially receptive. So they had to use their senses. So they could sense when a guy is good at sex. The way he talks, his seducer nature. Is he charismatic?
The way he dances.
The way he dances. You see what I'm saying? Certain indicators. So with that sense, like he was saying, a lot of men don't really hone in on these skills, right? We as men were just taught to be a provider and a protector. That's it.
Yeah.
That's your stamp as a man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why it would be helpful, the connection and also power. A lot of people don't like to hear that. It's a trigger for people. Power. I don't care what anybody says, but in the relationship dynamic, there's power. People could lie and say it's equal. No, there's power there. So if men are better at sex than women, they have more power. And it's a fact because you see those bum ass niggas sometimes that don't do shit but one aspect, and you see why you still there, girl? Come on. You got so much opportunity. Why you still there, girl? She won't tell you the real. You see? Power. He has power in that aspect. Slinging that D. You know what I'm saying? Or giving her more than that besides that. So when you look at it, on a sense, it's power. Oscar Wilde said this. He was an author, philanthropist, whatever, rest in peace. Oscar Wilde said, everything in this world reminds us of sex, except for sex. Sex is about power. So the better it is, power. Remember, women fall in love with that more than a man. That ain't gonna keep a man around. The way you nurturing and loving, submissive, feminine, that's gonna keep him coming back. But like Ink was saying, Sir Ink, he was saying, yo, most men just want to get off. May not be verbatim. Because it's lust, translation. For women, it's not so much lust, because the moment you are lucky enough to touch those buttons to make her orgasm, which is a hard thing to do.
Yes, it is.
So a man that could do that is special. She gonna keep one more. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, it helps for men to connect more with women and you know what I'm saying, build that intimacy. One of the reasons why women don't respect men today or have resentment against them is because they can't do that.
Well, I think a lot
That's one of the things.
I think it's because I think nowadays there's no foreplay.
I
You
was
know what I
gonna get
mean?
into that.
Like I think and maybe it's the men that obviously are not doing the foreplay and they want to just jump right in, but the women are allowing it, like they're just going along with it. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like we need some
So,
foreplay around here.
so,
So,
Ink, do you,
so
go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. So to both of your point, and we're leading into that. When I had said foreplay too, we all agree. The thing is, and I think pornography has kind of killed the male's libido.
Mm.
And I don't think men, when we talk about sex, I think we just talk about how much freaky sex we getting, how many girls we getting, but we're not really talking about being connected to a woman and actually having that kind of power. Because most, I'm not going to say most men, but a lot of men are just irresponsible. They don't want to be responsible for a woman's her emotional state when it comes to her being attached to you in that way. They just want to hit it and hit it and hit it some more, but they don't really want to be responsible. Because when we start talking about being in tune with a woman, that's taking some responsibility. That's taking a lot of responsibility for her well being, and that deals with a lot of your actions. And so a lot of guys do pornography. They're just teaching us, just have crazy sex. Like I remember it was a time when before all the internet stuff, right? Guys would come to the barbershop selling DVDs. So I started noticing,
Hold
like,
on,
okay,
DVDs.
I'm sorry, DVDs.
Oh, like selling DVDs.
Oh, DVD.
Selling,
Oh,
I'm
me
sorry,
too.
selling DVDs before.
Me too. I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry, DVDs.
Yeah, that was the thing back in the day,
And,
especially in the
and that
barbershop.
was the thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So guys were buying. And there was all this like cum shot, and then next thing you know, it was just cum shots. Like now everybody, yeah, I come on over. Like, but why? Like you're just doing what everybody else is doing. And
Mm.
then they started coming out with DVDs where like guys are hitting women. Like the one guy gave me a DVD. I mean, I was 5 minutes in, the dude punched the girl in the chest while he's hitting her. I was like, yo, man, this ain't cool. This ain't nothing to sell people. He's like, man, people buying this up. I'm like, why?
That
I
sounds like
mean,
a
Like, it's just
snuff film.
well,
but guys, so I'm just saying, guys are just repeating surface level stuff. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and
What I love what you do, the way you talk about being connected. These are conversations that more men need to have about the emotional component about wanting power over a woman. That's something that's very scary because most people don't have power over themselves.
mhm.
So I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I wanted to let you get it off. Pause. But you know what it is? You know what it is? Like me, I don't judge those aspects in that if you into that sadomasochism. Because there are certain
Mhm,
couples that are into that, punch me, slap me, whatever it is.
mhm,
They're into that. Me personally, I'm not so much into that. Have some sadist tendencies, but that's too
mhm,
extreme for me. That's a hard limit. I ain't doing
mhm.
it. That don't get me off.
Right.
It has to get me off first. But in that aspect, you're right. Porn gave a poor representation, and not just that, poor expectations. Like you see
Yes.
porn, and you're just like, oh, okay, this because it's some of it, most of it is acting, right? Most of it is acting, and it's like you're just gonna assume, oh, look how she is, and look how
Right.
she's moaning, and this and that.
Right.
But being and it's not fair because, well, you understand this too, being a dom in the lifestyle, the eye discipline, like you're observing, you're able to
Mhm.
please her by learning, you're using your senses.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's why the porn is a bad representation, and it's kind of like it's poor expectations, because you're thinking, oh man, if I ram it in and I just start fucking her quick like a rabbit, that's how she
Mhm.
was getting off. You're just gonna
Right.
assume it's the same thing, but it's
Right.
more so having that patience, and like you said, foreplay, warming up the engine. And
Right.
foreplay can come in many different forms. It doesn't
Mhm.
have, it could be a woman just, on her knees, and
Right.
producing oral. You know what I'm saying? So man,
Mhm.
she could be getting off and he's getting off. That's foreplay. It could be kissing, it could be touching.
Mhm.
It could be before you get into the bedroom, the holding the hands,
Mm-hmm.
stuff of that nature.
Mhm.
But foreplay pretty much has died. Why do you think it has?
Wow. Why has four? Because we don't teach it. we honestly as men, we don't pass that down. We don't pass down the importance of being in tune with your woman. And it seems like so many people get in relationships, then they go sexless.
Mm,
They lack in creativity.
mm.
You know what I mean? And
Mm.
so women will do homework on men. Men do no homework on. It is very basic for men. I get her. We're dating.
Well,
We
most
get
men,
married. We have kids. They just going. It's like every.
most
There's
men,
like a.
most
There's
men.
like a McDonald's way of doing relationships, and there's a lot of people doing
Yeah.
it. And so what people don't take the time to figure out is number one, who am I? And what do I really want? And
Mm-hmm.
and do I have the real intestinal fortitude to stand on that? To like, this is what it is, and I'm not budging off of that. And if you're down with me, we're rolling this way.
Mm,
And I'm bringing it back to men. Like when I first came across your content, the thing I love about it, you are invested in yourself, and then that investment you're bringing to the table as domination, submission, but in a broader sense. And when it all comes down to it, it's relationships. It's all about relationships and being connected to people, because you're going to deeper levels than that McDonald's surface. We just meet and we just kind of going through the motions. We're going to do the thing that all the other couples do. Nah, no. It's really going deeper into who you are, what you really want. That may not look like mainstream, but so many people are trying to do that mainstream, but that ain't really them. And they're the ones that's suffering.
mm.
And so when your creativity suffers, your sex struggles,
Yeah.
because sex is creativity. That's the thing about being a dominant person. And if you want to do sessions, you have to actually sit down, pen and paper, and really map out how you want things to go. But any one of us that have our own business or is a boss or just have made our own life, we understand that you have to map out your life to accomplish certain things. And just a lot of people are just walking through life. They get a
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
job, they got that McDonald's relationship, and they just living. But that, like, if a guy, like, I'm gonna go back to my beginning. A lot of guys tell me they got 15 minutes in them. So that means you're just having sex. Like
mm.
you're just busting a nut. Now, I'm not going to begrudge anyone. If that's all you got, that's all you got. But to me, it's not even saying like, man, I have a half an hour of foreplay and I gave her 15 minutes. Because the thing about that is, when you tell me you got 15 minutes, that means you don't even care about her being pleased.
Yeah, because
Mm.
she's not getting pleased in 15 minutes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, man, I get it in. But maybe you only give her 15 minutes of intercourse. But there's got to be time into being into her body, getting her off, getting her ready. But I watched the young lady say, it takes 18 minutes for a woman to really be really ready. And so, if you just go off of that, a lot of guys, man, 15 minutes. Like they think it's like a hard thing to do. 18 minutes of
Not if
just
she
touching
has
her,
a, not if
of
she
just
has a,
touching her.
not if she has a high sex drive.
That's true
Right.
too. But still,
Right. And
So,
15
that's
minutes.
true too. That's true.
so,
That's true too.
there's a thing. You're right about everything you were saying. So I want to ask, because I do believe foreplay has died.
I do
Why?
too.
Hmm.
Why?
I think it's because this day and age, everybody wants that quick. Like nobody has time for anything really. Like,
Mm.
and especially like nowadays, everybody wants that instant gratification. So why? I think they just want to hit it, then go on to the next.
So one of the reasons I believe is society, like where the economy. Where the economy is right now, how
Hmm.
sometimes a household requires two incomes coming in. And I'll agree with you, Sue. The operative word is time.
Yeah.
So Inc. said about time. He constantly said time. Oh, this guy said he got 15 minutes. It's about time. That's the
Mm-hmm.
operative thing. And I said this when I did Patreon video by myself, and I was displaying the toys and what to use and whatever. That's on Patreon. Everybody go to there. Link is in the description. I said, listen, this stuff first takes negotiation. There's a negotiation process. That's number one. Number two is time. If you want to get into all this stuff, you can't be like, oh, it's 2:00. Got to go pick up the kids.
Mm.
Let me get a quick, like, foreplay takes time, so you gotta plan it. You gotta plan it. Like, it's okay to plan sex.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And when
If you
you're
really
married
want,
with children, you have to.
if you really want the complete exclusivity and to experience it at the highest level in its entirety, plan it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say.
Agree.
As far as what men today want to do with women, a lot of men are actually hearing it. I'm surprised you said you hear it from men. A lot of men are actually hearing it from women.
What?
That, like, the choking, I like this, I like spit in the mouth. And they pretty much think that they can transform into something that's not in them.
The woman?
Right.
The man.
Oh, the
Because
man.
the woman is telling her what attracts her, what gets her off.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
So wait, you're saying that if the woman, men are hearing it from the women, so the women are saying, "I want you to choke me. I want you to spit in my mouth."
Yeah. This is
Okay.
what gets me off. And
Right.
those men will
Yeah.
either do one or two things. They'll be dominant and stubborn and say, I'm not doing that. We're gonna do it how I like. Or they're gonna say, okay, I wanna please her. I'm gonna transform and see if I could do this. Even though it's not in me, I'm not into it.
Right.
You know?
Sir Ink, you had said that you like Mr. Dom oh my God, Mr. Discipline said right now. You had said that you heard it from a lot of men about how much time that they have. 15
Yes.
minutes. Do you find it more younger men or older men or men of all ages?
No, it's men 40 and above.
Oh, 40 and above.
The younger men are having it. They having it. They having a great time.
Yeah, they don't even they're just
They
going
don't
through
have
it.
a problem. They don't have a problem,
And
But what happens is once you get to about that 40 range, things become very, life. A lot about life is redundancy, right? And sex becomes redundant. And so once you've matured or gotten to 40 where you're more mature, but you might be trying to hold on to your 20s, you start noticing your dating field is changing. And so the requirements that you have to bring to the table, even sexually, have changed. Whereas though when you were 20 years old, banging and hanging and all that, you could do that easy. But the requirement for where you are at 40 is way different than where you are at 25 or even 30. So you're meeting the women in your circumference, like within 3 years of your junior or senior. Let's just talk about that range, 3 to 5 years. Um, it's more mature women, and these women are coming into their more femininity, knowing who they really are, what their bodies really are, and get to the age where they don't care about societal norms or who says what. Like they're really trying to live their life. And so a guy at 40 has to bring a little bit more to the table or go back down to the 20. So guys sometimes just don't have the capacity they don't see the value in wanting to be better lovers. They just don't see the value.
That's
Right.
interesting.
And that's why these conversations are very important because we need to understand the value of what we're giving sexually. Like I was listening to that one podcast y'all guys had, and Mr. Discipline said, listen, he was saying to the other young lady, like, not every woman can just be in my presence. Like I can be in a room full of women, but not all those women really have a shot at having me or being in my inner circle. Like me, you might be on the fringes, but you won't be in my inner circle. And so that's crucial that men understand that value, and then what that means to whoever you're going to be with, and then invest in that. Guys just don't have that kind of mindset. And I think that's why these conversations are more important because more men need to talk like this about being responsible to not only ourselves, but to who we have in our lives and not just fling it out. Like, I got a wife, then I got a side John, then I got a young side John, and everybody lying, like I have and I'll keep this short after this. I have a client who said he has a wife. He got he got an older side chick, and he got a new young side chick. Now the new young side chick is really into the lifestyle, cool. But he told her She the only one that he's seeing outside of his wife.
Wow.
Oh.
Now the others, so like this is the kind of stuff that people are doing, and it's like so much energy and creativity to keep that going, and to just making this, being yourself, having the people in your life that allow you to be your best self, and everybody benefiting. They don't have that, and that's in every way, even sexually.
Mm.
So he so he told the younger lady,
Mhm.
you're the only one I'm seeing outside of my wife.
Yes,
But it's a lie because he's seeing another one.
that's a lot. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, and what I'm saying is like that's a lot of. I look at it as energy being put out in your
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
creativity. That's a lot of
Wasted
and
energy.
waste energy. And I'm sure Mr. Discipline can understand this aspect. When you make a promise to someone that you're going to be there, exclusive to them, monogamous, and you having sex with someone else, that affects you
Mm-hmm.
in a way of even trying to keep your motivation for the woman that you have, your wife or whatever that whoever that significant other is. There's
Mm-hmm.
a tax that goes on, a stress that goes on, just trying to maintain something that someone else should not know about. That's just very,
Mm.
very difficult,
So I think that the
and
key word that you said is trying to maintain with something that somebody else doesn't know about. Like lying is
yeah,
going to take a lot of a toll on you.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah. But
very
this and
good.
that's very normal behavior, and that's very accepted
Mm.
amongst men in today's society. So he is not a unique case. That is just how people are not everybody. There's a lot of men that operate like that because that's a system that men have just going on. In my experience, this is how guys is getting it in,
Yeah,
unless you're upfront and
mhm.
everybody knows that you're non-monogamous, but you have a certain responsibility to them
I was
all,
just about
or
to get into that.
you know. But go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead,
No, go ahead.
go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead. 'Cause, no, I love
I'm gonna
hearing
let
your
you finish.
perspective. That's why I'm here.
I'm gonna let you
No,
finish.
so that is my finish. That's it. Like there's a lot of guys that, and I call these all like McDonald's like program. Like we bought into that. We
Mm-hmm.
bought into that. We bought into that. We can't be ourselves and really get what we want and how we want it as men, and
Mm.
especially as black men. And so there is still a codependency with a woman as far as our culture of trying to make something work, though we're trying to do it in a way that we've seen is not successful.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree. So with the men that are doing that, because it's always a fantasy, right? Man, I always say men are born polyamorous. It's kind of like
Hmm.
wired. So you kind of want to play the options. Um, it's very rare you get men who will like be straight up with all their women. Let's say he has two or
Hmm.
three. But a man who is, he's a strong man.
Hmm.
He's rich spiritually.
Hmm.
He's rich mentally and emotionally because
Hmm.
he knows how much he can handle. Like me, I can
Yeah.
I can say to myself, I can handle two or three,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. No, like I'm gonna be realistic,
Right.
right? I'm gonna be realistic because people like those women are gonna suffer. Like three might
Right.
suffer, two might suffer if I have five. It's being
Right.
realistic of you're gonna enter that dynamic with having the responsibility to be able to either provide financially for everybody, provide sexually for everybody, provide give emotional security for everybody. You know,
Equally? That's what you're
yes,
saying? Mm-hmm.
yes. So it's not common for men to be able
Hmm.
to do it. It takes a special man and special men to be able to get into this where they could um do all that equally. So that's what I would
And,
say with that.
And truthfully.
and, and let me
Because
just add
they're
this.
gonna be truthful because they know they can handle it.
Mhm.
Because they're
and,
not
and
just thinking selfishly.
Mm-hmm.
Go
and let
ahead.
me let me say this as well. Something that wasn't available to me, but that's why I love our conversation and all of your content, is that we need to start teaching these younger men this right now. My son is 30 years old. He's already in this mindset. And it's just play with your cards straight up.
Hmm.
And Like even when I talk about my client that's in this situation, it's just the game that's been put on us that all of them have jumped into early in their life. But if they really had to redo things right now at this age, they wouldn't have carried it like that. If they would have known then what we know now, even have known what our own self worth is,
Mhm.
they would have treated themselves differently in their 20s. Not to say they're in any bad situations, but just how they could just be themselves.
Yeah.
That takes
And,
You
maturity,
know.
I think, though.
and you're right. You have to teach that abundance mindset, not the
Hmm.
scarcity one. That's why
Hmm.
they're moving like that, because they have a
Yes.
scarcity one. Men, the teaching these young men about women nature and how socially receptive women are, and they're going to follow men. So if you lead
Hmm.
being honest, I promise she's going to follow you the same way. So this is the biggest thing in this sense, and then we'll get back on topic. For
Hmm.
these young men, right? They have to understand that when you can approach this dynamic and potential dynamic and say, this is what the cards are on the table, you have to have a lot of confidence. You have to have something to back it up. That's number
Hmm.
one. But number two is, women are, if they're feeling you, they're gonna jump aboard because you're
Hmm.
putting the ball in their court. A woman will know, because remember, I said they're socially receptive. They're gonna know if this guy is different, because that might be different in her mind.
Hmm.
It has to be something about him. Why? Like, dudes don't just do this. They're not just
Hmm.
dishonest. So she's
Hmm.
gonna start to be. The irony is, even if you're brutally honest, she's gonna start to gravitate towards you
She's
because
gonna be
she's
Hmm.
curious.
curious. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
The
Yes.
in women's mind, especially modern, yeah, niggas lie. They
Mm-hmm.
lie. They
Yeah.
do this. They can't
Yeah.
keep it. They can't keep it in their
Right.
pants. They don't know
Right.
how to fuck. They can't provide.
Right.
Like, there's no respect. There's no trust.
Right.
Mm.
So in that
Right.
sense, when you approach like a man, no matter what it is, she could be preaching feminism. You don't let that affect you.
Hmm.
You approach like a man, because the masculine is
Hmm.
gonna change the woman to
Hmm.
get into her
Hmm.
feminine. It's just gonna be
Hmm.
like that.
Hmm.
So the
And
moment
then.
she feels
Hmm.
that,
Hmm.
because of that way that man is presenting himself, she
Hmm.
gonna adjust. That's what they need to
Yes.
understand. There's the
Hmm.
scarcity. That's why they
Hmm.
do what they do.
And just like you said on one of that podcast, and I was referring to a little earlier, that I was watching of yours with the other young lady. At that point, it's sink or swim for them.
Mm-hmm.
Either they make the decision to be in their feminine, or they just go after the dude they can control.
Mm.
Yes.
Because part of the mindset that's been placed on them is to control everything,
The women
not
you're
just
talking about?
control. Yes,
Okay.
women have been raised to control everything. And it's not just, see, a lot of times men look at it like, man, she's trying to control me. No, no, no. She's trying to control everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a byproduct of just how women in this society have been trained as well. And so that's why I was saying a man has to have his principles, know who he is, and say, this is how I'm going to live. I'm living monogamous, or I'm living non monogamous, or I'm looking for, some polyamorous situation like that, relationships, and stand on it. And then,
Mm.
like you said, when a woman feels that and she's making that decision, then she's going to say, "All right, I'm down. I'm all in." And that's who you want.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want somebody that's going to lie to themselves. If you sell them a lie early, how you going to keep? That's a lot. I just look at it like a lot of energy to keep up, just lying and trying not to and hide myself. My energy is too high. I can't hide myself. It's on my face who I am. You know what I mean? People feel my energy. They know exactly who I am. If you decide to be here and stay around, this is what I got for you, which is pretty fucking awesome. But, or you can go back out there and deal with them dudes that just want to lie to you and play games. They don't know how to order dinner. They don't know how to take you out. They don't know how to be a man. They don't know how to make you feel comfortable. So you go ahead back out to that world.
Yeah.
Well, I also think it's not just about yeah, I agree with both you gentlemen about being honest, what your intentions are. You're
Mm-hmm.
polyamorous, you have more than one
Mm-hmm.
woman. Yes, because that is refreshing for a woman to hear, like, holy shit, he's putting it all out on the table. But
Mm-hmm.
also it has to do with consistency. Like, don't
Yes.
tell me, I'm gonna I
I was
live
gonna
this
say
this
that.
life. Don't live. I live this life, and if you want to be part of it, you have to get
Mm-hmm.
on board. Okay, let's say this girl says, "All right, I'm gonna get on board," and meanwhile, she's expecting to get fair treatment or equal, opportunities or however you want to say
Hmm.
it. And then she's not, you know what I mean? Like that's a big old, wait, you told me to be this way. I am. And now you're not being the way that you said you were
Right.
going to be. You know what I mean? Like that. I think
Right.
that's a big
Absolutely.
thing too.
Absolutely.
But also, do you feel like the younger men see the need to get better at sex? Because I know you said that you deal with 40 and older, and
Hmm.
that they're pretty much stuck in their ways. They, they don't
Hmm.
want to. Have you seen younger men that do, understand what you're saying? Like, do they acknowledge it?
Yes.
And yeah, okay.
I think a lot of young men are receptive to it.
Mm.
I think they have to. The thing is, they're so young, so they're still in that phase of their life, in that mid 20s, the 30s,
Yeah, where they just
early
want to bang
30s.
everything.
Well, not just that. It's not just bang everything, but they're really still trying to figure out
Who
who
they
they
are?
are,
Yes.
right? But they're having great sex, and I think the buffet of ideas is way more vast for them than it was for me at the age of 25 or 30. So I think for
Mm.
them, and just the way sex is viewed now, as far as, all the variations of sex,
Mm.
genderless sex, all that. So I just think there's such a variety to them. Like there's no real taboo to it for them as it was for us. Like, it was a time where like girls didn't really get ahead, like then you're like, oh, you getting ahead. Then that was a thing.
Mm.
You knew there were some other cultures that was giving head from the rip, but there were other cultures that weren't into it. But, time goes on, everybody opens up. And so I think for them it's just great. I hear what they're saying. They're having a great time.
Mm.
Um,
The
but the social media plays such a big game too. It makes it easier for them.
the
Yeah.
testosterone is running rampant around that
Yeah,
time. As men age, testosterone declines. So they need
yeah.
to, do certain things to boost testosterone.
Hmm.
Me personally, I don't think the young men should be even worrying about getting good at sex. Build
Right.
yourself up as a man. That like
Yeah.
sex
Mm.
should be like priority 3, 4.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You
Hmm.
should worry about that
True.
because what happens if you have a oops baby and you didn't build
Mm.
anything?
Right.
This is why we're having
Right.
kids raising kids.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is what I would tell younger men. But at a certain age, men get to a certain age, right, where you got your stuff together and everything like that, and you can kind of build off that and get better. Because I think we learned late how to really more so seduce the woman. You know what? I
Right.
don't want to say everybody because I I learned very young. Because it's some people have it innate.
Mm.
It's innate for them. It's
Yeah.
it's just a gift,
Hmm.
God given. It's a
Right.
talent. You wasn't
Right.
coached. You know what I'm saying? Now you can
Right.
coach people.
Right.
um, but I do think that men need to just focus on their priorities first, build themselves as a man. Then they can worry about a woman, and then they
Hmm.
can implement those things.
Mm.
Because
Hmm.
they're not gonna learn like how to. They're not gonna learn about how to please a woman by just listening to her. Because women
No.
don't know what they want. They might know what they like, but
Exactly.
they don't know what they want. They're gonna have to
Right. Right.
learn by using their survival instincts.
The
Hmm.
man you're talking
Yes.
about?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
the moans, the facial expressions, the body
Hmm.
language. Are her eyes dilating? How is she flinching when you're trying to touch her? These are cues.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? This
Or L.
this is how
Or
you
L.
how you're gonna learn how to please the woman. That's how I always learned.
Mm.
Um,
Yes.
so it's not gonna be what your friends are saying, what the guys are saying, because every woman is different. Remember, some
Yes.
women are masochists, some
Yeah.
aren't. You see? So it comes down to learning that specific woman, putting in the time, having the patience. Because once you're learning someone, it's patience, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're studying them, you're
Yes.
putting in having
Yes.
the time and
Hmm.
you're invested,
Mm.
Yes.
emotionally,
Yes.
psychologically invested. So I
Right.
think if a man is psychologically, emotionally invested, it's going to be easy for him to be sexually invested because women are emotional and mental. So if you know how to love her mentally and emotionally, it's just easy
Easier.
once you get into the bedroom. That's
Mm.
why I say some women don't
Right.
need 15 minutes right away because you've been stroking her mind, you've been
Mm.
teaching her, you've been
Mm-hmm.
touching her emotions. But it goes down to what Ink said, the responsibility. You
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
gotta be able to have that. That's why I say, like, there's a lot of
Right.
fake doms out there. If you're gonna do all this stuff, then hit her crazy button. Be prepared for her to be attached to you.
Be prepared for
Yes.
her to be crazy.
I always
You just
say
hit the button.
I like my subs to be.
I
I always say I like my subs
agree. Oh my God.
to be obsessed with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not in a crazy way, but it's her
Right.
job to be invested. Like, come on,
Right.
a woman who kind of like a whore that doesn't put emotions in it. It's a fact.
Right.
Because a feminine
Right.
woman is gonna be emotionally attracted to the man. That's why it's better for the
Mm-hmm.
Right.
man to get better at sex, because once the man is done, he's done. Right?
Right.
The woman is keep going because when she orgasms, oxytocin drips.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That chemical is gonna allow her to pair bond beyond her control, even if he's an
Right.
ain't shit guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I gave you this immaculate pleasure, but now she kind of needs to show me what's worth me keep coming back.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
He has a job to do, she has a job to do.
Yeah.
So
Like a yin and yang.
yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
very important for
Mm-hmm.
older men to um really make this an important thing. You know what I'm saying? Not
Yeah.
just, oh, I gotta make all the money, I gotta provide it. Cause I've seen some rich niggas get cheated on in front of
Oh,
me.
absolutely.
In front of me.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
happened right in front of me. And she tried to do it with me.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? It
Right.
happened.
Yeah.
You understand? I've seen it all my life. And then I learn about these things. LL said it in lounging. LL Cool J. Even in music.
mm-hmm.
Right.
Even though you
Definitely.
blessed with cash doesn't mean your honey won't let me finesse that ass. You see?
Right.
So the money is, yeah, it's great for stability, but you're not touching her love language.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes
Mm-hmm.
down to. That's why at the end of the day, she probably will stay with you because she don't have her own financially. I'm talking about, but she might still cheat.
No,
Right.
she's definitely
But
cheating.
here's the flip. Here's the flip. The guy might not have so much, but if he's doing all that, she gonna be loyal. That's some
Yeah.
craziest shit I ever said. Well, it's not
Mm-hmm.
really crazy, it's facts.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's right.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So at the end of the day, like, you gotta look at it on a sense of when I see these dudes complaining about women and what they're not doing and stuff of that nature, it's like maybe you're not putting it down well. Maybe you're not
Right.
showing up as a man. No woman can
Right.
dictate my manhood.
Right.
Mm.
I approach like
Right.
a man and I know she's gonna
Right.
adjust. And she could be
Right.
saying, oh, I ain't gonna do this and I ain't gonna do that. Well, baby, we haven't taken it to third base yet.
Right.
So once you earn that, I bet you're gonna do a lot of stuff.
Uh-oh.
I put it
Hello.
down. Hell, can you hear me?
He said, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I was saying hello. Like, yes.
I put it down so well. Next thing you know, we're having conversation after. She's like, you know what? You wanted to try that thing, and I said no. It's not so bad. It's not so
Right.
bad now.
Right.
Maybe she said she won't ever cook for a man again, and she knows I like to be served. Damn, I thought you don't feed niggas. You already in my kitchen trying to cook something up?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll do it for you. You're special. You see,
That's funny.
Exactly.
this is the little things that a lot of men are not being taught, and they kind of
Right.
think, just like Ink was saying, it's corny. You this, you that. They kind of challenge your
Right.
manhood, but at the
Right.
end of the day, part of being a man is being able to satisfy a woman. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Um,
I used to talk to this woman who was, and I'm sorry to cut you off,
okay.
but I used to talk
No,
to this
good.
woman in San Diego. She was a RN. She made $120,000 a year. She said her last ex, she did not respect him because he couldn't put it down. And she when she was listening to my podcast, she was like, that makes sense. Because after
Mm-hmm.
he wouldn't put it down, I was starting arguments. I was
Mm.
disrespecting him.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, that makes sense what you say on your show. Wow, you made me come to the realization of that. She was doing it subconsciously. She said, I
Right.
didn't see him as a man because he couldn't do that.
Mm.
Right.
See how crazy that is?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Right. Yeah. That is crazy.
You had said earlier, Sir Ink, that
Mhm.
a lot of guys nowadays, they don't want to have that responsibility or the power, I guess, over the woman. Remember
Mhm.
when you said,
Yeah.
why do you think that is?
Whew. That's loaded. So I have a friend of mine told me, he said, you can't call yourself a man until you can take care of yourself and someone else. And until
Wow.
you know, taking care of a woman and multiple children on your own, and have to be the emotional leader, the provider, everything, and still bring it in the bed, that's a lot of responsibility. And we're not really teaching guys to be that kind of man.
Mm.
So everybody's just up on the surface, and it's all about connection, and that connection brings that sexuality and that better lovemaking, and that better intimacy, really, because
Mm.
a lot of it is intimacy. It's not all just intercourse. Men think of sex as just intercourse. We have to
Mm-hmm.
start thinking of it as the whole experience, the whole night, the whole lead up, the whole day, the conversations, everything. And then we get into one another and take it to the next level. I think it's okay to have meaningless sex with certain people. But when you have someone that you consider you want close to you and want to be connected to, that's an investment. You got to be all in. I don't think we teach that enough. And then
Mm.
porn teaches you to have meaningless sex. And
Yeah.
then when you have some stable kind of situation, you become bored with that, even as a
Mm.
man. Like just like Discipline just said a little earlier about the women, that men can get in that headspace too. So I just think it's all about letting these young men know how to be more what I call emotionally intelligent.
So
Mm.
you
And
think it? Go ahead.
Go ahead, no, go ahead, bro. I
So
was
you
done.
think it's okay to have meaningless sex?
Sometimes you just hungry like the wolf. You just want to get it off. I get that part.
Would you do
Um,
that?
mm, no, not at this age. I'm thinking of the younger men.
Oh,
But
okay.
no, I'm sorry. Let me quantify that. I'm talking about the younger men. For
Okay.
for more mature men over 40, no, hell no. You should have your outlets, and if you don't have it, you should be able to go without it. And if you
Mm.
can't go without it, then it controls you.
Mm.
And so you can't have nothing that you can't control will respect you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So if you can't show a woman, not that you don't need her, but you don't need her sex, then you good.
You're a powerful man. Because
You're a
Mm-hmm.
there's
powerful man.
yeah, because women only use a few things to try to control men,
Not
and
only
one of
that,
them
And
is their sexuality.
that because women are taught that
Mm-hmm.
from little.
and women know dudes would get real goofy over some new sex.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Men
that's
get
true.
real goofy over a new toy because we
Mm-hmm.
still. My friend's wife one day said to me, she says, Ink, she said, within every man is a 15-year-old. And it's funny, as a man, we do still have our adolescence about us at times. So, men like new things, but you can be like that when you're on that surface level of being connected and having sex, because then you're always looking for the next thrill instead of investing more into what you already have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
What do
Interesting.
you got? 'Cause I'm on to final thoughts, but you have anything else?
Nope. I asked them all the questions that
Okay.
I made
So,
points of.
Ink, you have any final thoughts? Do you like the show? Hate the show? You have a problem with what I say?
He made himself laugh with that one.
Yeah. My final thoughts is that it's a pleasure to be on here to even talk to you and talk to Mayor. It is the pleasure is all mine. I love your perspective. I love that men of color get to have this conversation and just keep it going. I look forward to meeting you two
Oh yeah,
live and
yeah.
Yeah,
doing
definitely.
this live definitely. And you inspired me because for me on social media, I was just doing it as a way to write, and then it kind of developed into a little bit more of what it is. And because of my other professional career teaching, I couldn't really expand on myself in that way, and so in this way. And so now, in this year, I'm just going to expand myself a little bit more, be a little bit more visual, and do a little bit more of the work because I love bringing this message to men because they need to hear this. So I appreciate y'all, and also for the ladies that listen to this, because I've given your podcast to other friends, and they love it. They
Mm.
love
Oh,
it.
that's awesome.
They love your swag. They love this. They love sis because she's very feminine and nice and complimentary, beautiful, and they learn a lot. Sometimes they hear it from me, but when they hear another male say the same thing, you're younger than me, they love it. So it's a good thing. I appreciate you guys.
I
Oh, that's
appreciate you
awesome.
too, man. Respect.
Yeah,
Where
yes,
can
sir.
they reach you? What kind of work do you do?
Everybody can reach me on Sir INQ on everything: Instagram, Facebook. I'm not on Twitter. I'm on YouTube, which is kind of new for me. I'm trying to, do content, edit video, but so yep, that's where they can find me.
Okay,
That's
that's
what's up.
awesome.
Well, thank you once again for coming on, and yeah, I'm looking forward to having you in studio do this live. It's gonna be
100%.
dope.
I'm gonna have lots of
Yes, sir.
questions for you.
Yes,
See if we could roll
let's get
that
more
blunt though.
questions. I love it.
See if we
I
could roll.
love it.
See if we could roll that blunt. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
we got to do that. We got
Yeah,
to do that. We got
definitely.
to do that.
All right,
Yes.
man. Have a good one.
Okay. Yes. Appreciate y'all.
Bye bye.
All right. So, final thoughts. You go first.
Is it helpful for men to be better at sex or women? Definitely, I'm gonna stick to what I said before. It is I think it's always helpful for men to be better at sex. That doesn't necessarily mean that he has to have more bodies under his belt, maybe be more knowledgeable, more um I don't know, be willing to teach what he
What gives you the right to
knows.
say that?
I
No, I'm just
know.
kidding.
Oh
Go
shit, you
ahead.
got
Go
me.
ahead. Go
Almost had
ahead.
a heart attack. um, and for I think women make that mistake in thinking that they have to be knowledge, like they have to know what they're doing, or they have to um maybe promote themselves that way or show because they want to be picked. You know what I mean? Like I
They're
think we
not.
had this
They're
conversation
not gonna
on
be picked.
another. No, I know, but I'm saying I think we had this conversation in another one with one of our callers. Um, where we had said the almost exact same thing. Nowadays, girls think that they should be like that because it will get them, being to be chosen. But again, that's a
The
confusing thing for them.
the beta males, the weaker guys, the guys who are lusting after that, and like Ink said, it controls them absolutely. And those guys could have money too, but they're
Mm-hmm.
not quality.
No.
You just see the exterior. Their interior is trash.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have character, right? They fall for anything. They don't have principles. So those are the type of men that they're gonna get. They're not gonna get real men. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get males.
Yes.
So I'm not piggybacking. We actually think the same. I don't believe men should just accumulate bodies.
Oh, okay.
Because the way you're able to elevate spiritually and psychologically, I don't give a fuck what you read about or your degrees. That's not intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
But conscious, woke, maybe you're a conspiracy theorist, is because you didn't accumulate so many bodies. You see? Because the energy, right? Not everybody you fuck with, it might be toxic because people can't read people.
Mm-hmm.
Only special people can read people and see your soul and feel your energy.
Mm-hmm.
So not every chick has the right intentions or whatever, and they could be depleting your energy for you to not elevate. So that's one of the reasons. It could cause you to not be a man, like not be a man. Certain people in your life cause you from getting blessings.
Oh, yeah.
It's the realest shit I ever said.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to use proper discernment, right? You could have 5, maybe 10 girls in your life or whatever. You don't have to have all these bodies or whatever it is. And it's not planned, right? It's corny. You got a little blue book. Okay. Stacy crossed her out. You got like 100, 200, 300 bodies. It's corny,
Mm.
right? Who's counting? That's crazy to
Yeah.
me. So, that's number one. Number two, I'm not even putting the women in this. Don't. It's actually a turn on for me living this lifestyle. It's an irony, but it's a turn on for me to a woman that, oh, look at all these toys I got. I did all this stuff. Like, come on. Like, what am I gonna show? I'm possessive and territorial, so it's like very disgusting that she has as much experience in there as me.
Mm.
That's I'm not judging a woman's high sex drive or sexual appetite, but the fact that she's experienced so much shit, maybe even more than me, is a turnoff. You're like a man too. then we're it's like a mirror type shit. We're not a power couple. And shit doesn't exist. That's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not common for a woman to be experiencing all of that stuff. So it just doesn't make sense. You're not gonna get picked if you lead with that. Because I don't care how much the man lies to you, you know, you're not making him earn anything. Men value what they have to earn and work for and stuff of that nature. And, you know, when a woman shows that she's reserved and stuff of that nature in private, the quality men are attracted to her. If she's not in her divine feminine, she's not going to be able to discern properly. She's not going to be able to decipher. So you don't need to be like a 15-minute man, an hour man. You know, foreplay. Incorporate foreplay. And you know what? She could be ready in like 30 seconds. She could be ready in 2 minutes. So it's all about that. Like, what happens is this. The way you're gonna please, especially in that aspect, this is the key thing, right? Listen, is by being unselfish.
The woman?
The man.
The man.
That's the whole summary of this show. Most men are selfish. I'm not faulting them. Right? For you to go in there and be like, oh, I'm a just lazy dicker and get off. You see, you're not thinking about the other person. In order to please and to be really good at it, you gotta enjoy it. It gotta stroke your ego like it strokes mine. Because that's how you're gonna do a really good job at it. And you're making sure that they getting it. They getting off. And by you doing that, you're getting off. And then you're gonna get off too. You see, so it has to start with you entering the dynamic of thinking, yo, baby, you talking about you gonna give me sex? Relax. I'ma give you sex. A nigga ain't never told you that before. Cause he ain't a nigga, he's a god. I'm gonna give you pussy. What? No, relax. I'm giving you good dick. I'm giving you sex. There's a difference. You think you're giving me something great? Yes, it is great. But you know, I'm giving you some bomb dick. You think you have some bomb pussy? Well, you ain't met bomb dick. That's the difference. That's the difference. It's like, yo, you think you're gonna give me this? No, I'm about to blow your back out. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do it. That's different.
I know you had.
So now she knows. Oh, damn, he about to put in some work here. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's different. I promise you it's different. And in the woman's brain, it translates like that. That's why she gravitates towards a guy in a love aspect, because she sees it as, you know, he's unselfish. And that's why she wants to nurture. She gets back into her feminine. You ever heard good dick make the woman turn from that masculine or a beast to the soft kitten? You ever heard, oh, she just get into her feminine? I was talking about the example of the cooking. I thought you don't fade niggas. Oh, I'll do for you. Soft spoken and everything. But before that, she just like rah rah, because she ain't got a man, right? She ain't got a man. That's one of the things in this world that makes women mad and resentment. They ain't getting good dick. They ain't getting good sex. Yeah. They're not getting kissed right, touched right. They're not getting courted. They're not getting seduced.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. So men will always have bad luck with women when they don't know these things.
Yes,
it's not just about having social skills. That is the catalyst. Because the woman will be like, damn, he's a really good talker. He must be good in bed. Man, look at how he walk. One step after the gangster lean. He must be good in bed. Look like he packing. Look at him. He's just so aggressive. Look like he packing. Women just they just read into shit. Look at him. Look how he looks. Chisel.
Look how he dances.
Look how he dances. Oh. The way he touches me, grabs me, whatever. Those are cues for them.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, younger guys just need to focus on building, not going out there and being great and stuff like that. Because then you're gonna be a fucking
focused
father.
On the wrong thing too.
You're gonna be a father early, especially if you're not responsible. You know, some of these chicks might just be like, "Oh, you know what? I want to do it without it," and he listens to her. Oh, I know when I'm ovulating. Pull out method. He listens, falls into the trap, whatever. Maybe basketball players, young basketball players, young football players, right? You hear more basketball players getting trapped than football players. You know them. So it's like build yourself, get yourself right, build your legacy. You get women, And then you start worrying about these things. You know, so for a woman, you don't have to do too much for her to give you the world. That's a fact. You don't have to do too much because the way women are built is you could treat them good, they're going to treat you like gold. And some women might think him fucking me well is treating me good.
That's true.
Back in the days, women didn't even worry about, oh, you got to spend all this money on me and do this and do that. One woman told me she loved me. This was like, I was like 24. This was a Cancer sign. She was like 40. I talked about this in episode 20. She told me, she was Italian. She told me, oh, I love you. Don't you know? I'm like, listen, I ain't going to say it back. You know, at that moment, I was emotionally unavailable. And I told her, I ain't going to say it back. You might be waiting forever. Oh, I don't care. I love you. Don't you know I love you? And I said, why? I don't give you shit. Oh, you give me more than you know. I remember. I was 24. Oh, you give me more than you know. What did I do? Sling good D. Listen to her talk. She could call me crying. I would be there.
That's
leading.
very important. Hell yeah.
Going over there, taking her out, paying. I didn't do much.
But that's a lot, though.
But for some women, depending on who they are, oh, you giving me orgasms. You giving me handprints. You pulling my hair. You giving me welts. You taking me out. You paying. You holding my hand. You protecting me. You leading. I never have to make decisions. That's big for them. That's why I'm saying if you do the basic stuff as a man, she's going to give you the world. She's going to love you forever.
That's true.
But most men are not taught that. They're just like, oh, I got to do this, blah, blah. Look at this social media guy, blah, 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 this and that. I got to be like him. I got to do. No, it's not that. It's the basic relationship 101. It's the foreplay before the real foreplay. Because women don't really ask for much. That's why I see like a lot of these young girls that's going crazy now that's talking about 8-figure this, blah, 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 blah. They're fucking corrupted.
Yeah.
Let them meet a dude like me. Let them meet a guy like me because a lot of men are not leading. That's the problem. A lot of dudes are not. No. This isn't going to rock here. What are you talking about? That doesn't even make sense. Do you know how money works? You know, different regions. Do you know how money works? Where do you live? Where's the taxes there? Because you know, the more they make, the more they taking out. So what are you talking about this? You want scammers or you want a legitimate guy? A legitimate high value man. This is what it is. A high value man can't be a scammer.
That's true.
They don't coincide. They're not synonymous. Because part of him being of that sense is his principles, his morals, his values, how he leads and dominates as a man.
Exactly.
So ultimately, like, what are you talking about? You're corrupted. You're uneducated. Let me teach you something. Once you teaching her, boom. Because a woman will love you for something that you taught her, not bought her.
That's 100%.
Yeah, I'm cooking right now.
You are. You're on
So
fire.
at the end of the day, like, it's not about that. That's why they say those things, those asinine stuff. They're ignorant. It's not that they're not smart or anything like that. They're just ignorant. They're polluted. Their mind is polluted. Their mind is warped due to social media, music, television, friends. They meet the real man that eradicates all that stuff because of how he's leading. She adjusts.
Yep.
And she adjusts to how his ways are. And he creates a path for her to follow. She don't go in another path, building by herself, moving by herself. No, she follows his lead. And then you start seeing that woman's mindset change. You start seeing how she talks is different. Things she likes are different because she's following the man. That's what it comes down to. I could tell right off the bat how women act, what type of men they had, or who they're currently with. Based off their actions. That's what it comes down to.
Yep,
because a man of power and has a power over a woman is not because he cares, he's invested. He's not just gonna let her do it. Like a real friend, a real business partner, a real man, boyfriend, dom or whatever, is going to be like, yo, you slacking. You need to do this with it. Hold you accountable. That's facts. It's not going to just be like, oh, she's looking crazy. No, because he cares. Discipline is synonymous with care. So these men are going to bring discipline. They're going to bring law. They're going to bring order in the dynamic. And that's why you see the women adjust. The women acting crazy probably don't have a man. They're following whatever. Or if they're in a relationship, he's weak. He's not leading. He's equal. Letting her do it. It always comes down to this, right? Every episode we talk about, it always comes down to this.
That's true.
Same thing. We always talk about the same thing. I always talk about the same thing. It always comes down to the same thing of how he's leading, and that's where she's going to adjust. So it's the same thing in the bedroom aspect. He got to be into it first. If he's not into it first, she's not. She can't say, hey, baby, I thought of some new stuff. Let's bring some handcuffs to the room or whatever. Yeah, he's just going to do it to make her happy. And maybe she's into this so she doesn't run away. He has to be into it first. That's how it's going to be very powerful and enjoyable.
So,
if he's not into it, it's going to be inconsistent. It's going to be only on Valentine's Day. It's going to be only on, baby, it's my birthday. Can we do this? Okay, I'll do it. I never was really into it. I'll do it. The guy talking now. You see, he has to be into it first. I'm into erotic asphyxiation. That gets me off. The bonus is they like it. But I gotta be into it. So if a woman just choke me, slap me, and he's just like, you know what I'm saying? You understand?
I do, but what if he doesn't know that because he's never tried it? And she's like, I saw a movie. Why don't we try it out?
No, because if he knows himself, just like the ass eating thing. I said, that's a hard limit for me. I've had women that said, oh, I want to do this. No, I know myself.
That's crazy.
Well, how do you know? You never tried it. The orgasm is in the man's rectum. I don't care.
No, I'm not talking about that.
But I'm just saying, you got to know yourself. That's what the operative thing is.
Yes, but
you got to know yourself.
But we've also said on the show plenty of times that a lot of people don't know themselves. Like if, let's say, they're watching a movie together and she's like, let's try that. That looks cool. But do you think it would work out then? If he's like, maybe? No. He has to want to have it in him. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
So it comes down to that. But for the young men trying to do all of this, I mean, it's kind of dangerous if you don't have your stuff together, and you're not there mentally and emotionally, because you're going to have these whole bunch of crazy chicks after you did that, because not a lot of men can do it, right? So that's why it drives women crazy. You're going to have them all around you, and some of them might turn toxic crazy, put you in danger and stuff of that nature. You don't know how to handle it. Oh, I really wasn't trying to get emotional with you, but I didn't want to tell you that. She gets it, and now your life might be in danger. Because a lot of younger men are not going to just approach straight up and be like, this is what's going to happen and whatnot.
Hide things,
So in a way, like, it's like in the first Spider-Man, Uncle Ben said with great power comes great responsibility. Same thing. Like good dick is power. The way you are a seducer, that's power. So you got to be ready for those things. I always tell women, yo, you really trying to get into this? You sure? I always have them, you sure? Because things are going to change. You're feeling stuff in that. You sure? I always ask them to make sure they clarify and are okay with that before moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, you got to be ready for the aftermath. There's an aftermath of discipline. So you got to be ready for that. I'm ready for it. That's why I choose properly. I'm not going to choose the fucking OnlyFans online chick, because I'm going to do shit with her that she ain't never had before. And she's going to get psycho. She gonna turn crazy. She might keep my car one day. Oh, I called you 2 times. Meanwhile, I'm at work and my phone is charging in my office. Where are you? You with some bitch? Find out where I live. Key my car. And I was legitimately at work.
That's crazy.
You see?
And that happens.
I'm not saying that happened to me, but I'm just giving you a scenario.
Yeah, because that does happen.
I could see in depth already. The whole online, what's gonna happen. Because a lot of dudes ain't doing that. Because if a real man was piping that, she was getting some thug loving, and he was really, really who he was with certain principles and morals and that and how you should be as a woman, and that's mine, and I'm possessive in territory, he would tell her to stop doing it. And she would not continue. You see? There's a difference. But you could have a dude who's still slinging. He ain't emotionally invested, so he still let her do that. OnlyFans and whatnot.
Because he's getting off on it.
He's not invested. That's the key thing. But a real man is gonna be invested in every way, and him putting it down and giving it to her is invested sexually too. I told you. I said that shit is a gift. So maybe I'm horny one day. I lazy dicker. I get off. Because I'm used to letting her get off. But I lazy dick it. That's punishment too. Because I'm not, you're here. I'm not going to just, jerk off. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I will still have that sexual discipline. You know what I'm saying? No, it ain't happening because that's a gift. Because of what I do, what I give. So ultimately, like, it comes down to, you know, wanting to do it, wanting to please, being unselfish, being patient. You know what I'm saying? Learning every aspect of the woman, not just her body, not just her curves, internally, spiritually, and loving those parts too. Because if you love those parts prior to even the bedroom, that's why when you get in there for the first time, she coming in 10 seconds. And people don't understand that, especially guys. Women have said, oh, they don't even know what a clitoris is. Don't know how to eat pussy. Don't know how to do that. Why? Why don't they know? There's not enough education, but they gotta be into it. Like, I'm not just gonna eat pussy because she asking me to do that. I gotta like that. That gotta turn me on. If it don't, we ain't doing it. That's what I say. If you trying to do that whole thing, oh, your ass looks really, really nice. No, I don't care if I never did it before. It makes me submissive. I'm not gonna be able to look at myself in the mirror again. I'm not a man. So no, that's a hard limit, and you gotta respect that. Her, she might say, damn, you too large. I'm not doing no anal. Okay, cool. We throw that out the window. It's not a big deal. I could use a butt plug. It's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, you gotta be into it. That's what it comes down to. If the man is into it, it's always gonna be good. You see? Because he's the leader. He's giving the feminine sex. If the woman is just into it, it's not gonna be as good. And if you can't dominate her sexually, she gonna look for a man that can. And that's one of the reasons why women are hardwired to be attracted to dominant men, because they correlate that with sex. Everything is aroused in her, even her female psyche.
From the dominant
physiology, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually. She's sexually attracted to you. That's very rare. It's not a lot of women that just go up to guys and go, damn, girl, he's fine. He's fine. Most chicks nowadays are like, how much money he make? What does he do? What's his status on Instagram? Does he got a blue check mark? No, it's very rare. Yo, girl, he fine. You see? So at the end of the day, it comes down to you wanting to do it. The man, that's what it starts with. He's the one that gets the woman used to all that. You think women just came out the womb saying they like to be choked? No, they was with a toxic bad boy probably. A sadistic dude in the bedroom that did that and got them used to it. That's why they say they like it now. Women are just more than men in every way. Even that. So it's more beneficial for them as the man to get better at it because there's more control and power there. Yeah. I agree with that. But you got to be in the hands of the right man. I'm not promoting this stuff for dudes that are toxic and get it. No, it got to be in the hands of the right person. Yes. So men heal. Amen. And then get good at this, because when your man heals, he's good at it. All these spiritual guys, pause, you don't know homo, but I bet you they're good at it. Yeah, because they know the woman. Yeah. They know the woman. Healing is the and key. even for me personally, like most guys out there who are selfish outside or whatever, but there's many different aspects they're not selfish in. Providing, protecting, giving you orgasms. I don't need to do that. I don't have to list of the stuff I do. So yeah, he's selfish, but he's also unselfish because it's like a scale. Goes up and down. So it balanced. He's not just selfish in every way. And he's selfish in bed too. Nah, you ain't keeping a woman too long. Just gonna deal with hoes, pay for sex type of shit. And you gonna get off and bye. I'm paying you to leave. I'm not paying you to fuck me. Your Uber's outside. That's all his life is gonna be. He ain't gonna have chicks that are genuinely gonna be there and love him and stick around. You see? So in some aspect, you got to be unselfish. I'm dominant in this way, but in a way, when you look at the other stuff that I'm doing unselfish, like, damn, that makes sense. It balances out. I can't be selfish in everything. I ain't going to keep no chicks around. You see, like I said, they ain't left. They're not here because I kept them away. That's what it comes down. Chicks don't leave me. And I'm not boasting. It's a fact. They don't leave me. And if they do, they come back. So does it count? No, it don't. Because you got to leave and be gone forever. Don't come back in a year from now, a month from now. So I'm like, oh, let's rekindle stuff. Then you ain't left then. It's like me leaving a job and talking shit about it publicly and then going back. Yeah. That's like, what the fuck you, what? Yeah, doesn't make sense. You know?
Wait, before we say goodbye, how is this pillow?
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah,
I
it's
like it.
comfy.
I wouldn't put it like if I'm driving because I have that lumbar thing with my sports car. But I wouldn't put it with
Either, right?
the
That's
record
okay.
when I record
I'll take it.
or edit because that one has one too.
Guess who's getting it now?
But
Because I
yeah,
don't have a sports car.
this
I
is
need a lumbar cosa.
yeah, this is dope. This is dope. You
Nice.
could have it.
All right. You know where to check it out, people.
Yeah, but
Where do
they
they
asked
check
him
it
to
out?
send you another one.
Yeah, it's a travel
dope.
one, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's about it. You know, anything you want to say?
No, I think I can't wait to have him in studio.
Most dudes will look at what I'm saying and just, you know, like he was saying, ink. Oh, I'm not doing that or whatever. Like they think they know everything. They're just gonna look at it as or whatever, and they will talk about shit like, oh, you can't just dominate her sexually. She respects resources. Apparently no.
Resources? What's that
Yeah,
mean?
resources, connections, finances. You know what you could do, build. Yeah, she just respects resources. Not
Like
necessarily.
capital, like money.
Not necessarily. Maybe the old school traditional submissive. Not a lot of women today. They don't just respect resources. No, you gotta dominate in other aspects.
Yeah.
So those dudes might say that because they lack in that. But I believe a man should be all around. Should be able to do everything. You know, we're not talking about going multiple rounds. You could do something really, really good in one round where she's good. Dick quill. I said this. Dick quill. Knocked out. Hair pulling, ass smacking, choking. Dick quill. Make her sleep, snore, drool. Like she called you the next day. Yo, I slept like a baby. How you slept last night? Oh, I slept like a baby, literally drooling. I woke up, put on my pillow. I was just snoring, and I never snore. She snored, snoring and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. I'm telling you facts. Things that other people won't talk about on a show because they lack in certain areas or whatever. They just say, oh, this is what is to be a man. You gotta make this money, 6 figures, this, that, height, 6-pack, boom, boom, boom. No, that's not what it makes to be a man. That's not what it is. And those type of men that talk about those things, they don't get quality women. That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't care what type of woman you are. You're gonna be attracted and stuck to the seducer. It's hard to get away because he's touching your feminine parts for real. Yeah, you'll be financially taken care of or whatever, but the seducer will give you emotional security, psychological security, sexual security.
Security, though? The seducer will give them security or a false sense of security because he's a seducer at the end of the day. That's like his goal is to seduce and get him in bed. I guess if he's not healed.
I guess you could look at it on that aspect, but maybe I'm just speaking subjective.
Gotcha.
But every man of this caliber has seducer tendencies. You know, abilities. So yeah, so his end goal might be getting her into bed, but you know he's building other things. You know, with her, that's not just it. Gotcha. You know, like the player could be a seducer, but that's not just it for him. Man has to want to provide. That's what it comes down to, because when he's doing that, he's providing as well. Yeah, sex, you know, and good sex, pleasure, you know. So that's one of the reasons why it's so hard to connect with women today, because you know, if you just want to connect with women on one aspect, you need to go to a foreign country. Because if you're not good in this area and you just make money and you just brag about that, then you need the foreign women. But if you have women who can make their own, they have ambition, maybe they don't have a job, but you see potential, they're smart, they're street smart, and you know how to utilize her efficiently, those women are going to require more substance. Yeah. Like, yeah, you know, I need him for these bills, but I don't get these things fulfilled. So she wonders. She wonders. You know what I'm saying? Eyes wonder, maybe builds an emotional attachment with a guy talking to him, DM, social media nowadays, right? Easy to cheat. But the dude that's doing it well and hitting most of those aspects, and he's lucky enough to provide financially, there's no way she got eyes for nobody else. She's
Mm.
building love there.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if she wants to fight it, I don't really love this guy or whatever. Yes, she does. She's building love there.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You know, it's crazy too how the guy that is doing all those happy wife, happy life guy, the nice dude, but can't do it in the bedroom. She don't even love him. That's crazy. Like, why would she not love him? She should. He's doing all those stuff, making sure she's ate food's on the
Mhm.
table, pays bills, and yeah, but she disrespects him, treats him like shit. You know what I'm saying? They're in an equal relationship. That is a big deal for women. They care more
Yeah,
about that than
that's a
men.
big deal.
Remember, we talked about this in shows prior. Women are more thirsty for it because they keep going and going and going and going. Men can't do that. So technically speaking, they're more thirsty for it. They love every aspect of the sex. You ask how many women out there for foreplay and men. What's the ratio? It's more women than men. You
For
gotta love.
foreplay? Yeah.
Yes. So that means you love it
Yeah.
more. So if you're doing that right, she's gonna build that love with you. If you're doing everything else right and you're not doing that right, she might not. She might just question, is he a man? Is he a man? Like, she's not gonna respect them in a sense.
She's gonna build resentment.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's the key word. That's the word I was
Mhm.
looking for. She's
Yep.
gonna build resentment. She's gonna just, because her fucking brain, that's what it comes down to. Her brain. She's gonna just be thinking, how does he not love me right? Psychologically, subconsciously, as a man is more physical. How do he not do that? He's physical. He should be more experienced in there than me. So how can he not do that? He doesn't love me. So she doesn't build love. You see?
And then it becomes a chore. That's how that happens.
Mm-hmm.
He's not gonna satisfy me. Now it's a chore, and now I gotta sit here.
She's
and
laying
do it.
there. Are you done?
Yeah, I gotta
On
go
her
cook.
nails. Are you done?
Yeah.
On
Hurry
Instagram.
up.
On Instagram while he's doing it. Are you done? Hurry up.
That's
Did
crazy
you get up?
on Instagram while he's
That's
doing it. That's
crazy.
awful.
Mhm.
Maybe hurry up, I gotta go cook, or the kids are coming, or something like that. But on
Yeah.
Instagram,
I'm telling you, it's a fact.
fucking
This
awful.
is the psychological summary of why you see all these relationships that, why the good girls stay with the bad boy? Why do we toxic? Oh, he ain't shit, but he doing bum ass nigga. But dude, oh my gosh, she got everything going for herself. She looks good. You see? Because that's what's not being spoken about.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see that behind closed doors. He does one or two great aspects that really is valuable to her.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, if men are not connecting with women, sorry guys, like I'm for the guys, but I gotta be real. It's the men's fault.
I
It's so easy to connect with women. It's so easy to satisfy them. It's not hard. They don't require a lot. So if it's hard and they're connecting and now they're building resentment towards women and they're talking shit about women, not and generalizing, not saying that there's specific type of women, there's divine feminine, whatever. They're saying every woman is like this, females, whatever, is because of those major things.
Mm.
They don't have good luck with women. That's why. That's all it is. That's a fact. You got to look at actions of people, not what they say. You got to look at actions of people.
Yeah,
like, do they look like a bozo? Do they have swag? Because women are attracted to that. They could see that, damn, little gangster swag. I don't know why I'm attracted to that. I don't even like gangsters. I don't even know. I don't know. But he's getting me wet. I don't know why. I'm telling you. You see the corny dude, and no, I could just watch him and listen to him. He's making my ears hurt. His high pitched voice. I just watch him and listen to him. No, he don't get pussy. He can say he get pussy. Oh, no, he don't. He just he ain't good at it either. Like women do that. They will dissect you. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, it comes down to that. It comes down to like the man taking it upon himself to want to lead. You know, not just being that authoritative figure, do this, do that, and commanding and stuff of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's power.
Consistency too.
It's power. And information is power.
Mm-hmm.
And then power is priceless. So when you get the information of women nature, how to please them and this and that, and what, now you can have power. And then that's priceless. Because money can't buy that. You can't go to Walmart and find that in aisle 17.
That's true.
That's what it really comes down to. The men have to step up. And if the men step up, the women will follow in every aspect. You could keep a woman loyal by how you put it down.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go out dressed like that. Okay, daddy. But imagine the dude who ain't putting it down. Don't go out dressed like, who the fuck you think you talking to? I make
Yep.
money like you.
I could totally
Who you
see
think you
that.
talking to?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, fuck you. I'm
Mm.
independent, strong and all that. But imagine a strong independent coming to them, and I said, don't do that. That's the first time I'm gonna say it and the last time I'm gonna say it. That's a verbal warning. Okay, daddy. She gonna call you daddy too. So nigga, I get called baby and shit, boo. That's my boo. You go already tell you ain't putting it down. It's the poppies, it's the kings, it's the emperors, it's the daddy that's putting it down. Them dudes. You know what I'm saying? It's cues. Like I read into depth. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. So men will forever have these problems with women if they don't get better with these skills. Adopt these skills and then hone in on them. That's all it is. That's all it is. You could do your shit as men, but you can't forget you got a woman. You got to get these bills paid and stuff like that and work or whatever, but you can't forget you got a woman or women. You know what I'm saying? They have certain needs in this aspect for that. But, like I said, I believe that the man's orgasm is more important, but you got that special man that can really just be selfless and do that and give you that. Oh man, that's a gift. That's a gift to a lot of women. And that changes the way she treats you. That changes the way she is with you. I mean, it's kind of like fucked up to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying chicks are hoes or whatever it is, but it translates different for women. It's not in a sense of hoe shit. It's not, they love sex. It's coming from you. So it means different. Like they read in depth. A woman will be like, all these things will pop on the woman's head of knowing that you made her reach that orgasm. He was patient to get me there. He did it well. He put in work. Wow, he was selfish because he could have did his own shit and got off. All that shit translates to, and I get it now. When I was 24 and I was asking her, yo, what you talking about? I don't do nothing. And she was telling me all the things. She was a lot older than me. It makes sense now that I look back.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so women are more mature than men. So they're going to pick up on things quicker and be able to absorb it faster. So they're going to see those things. Oh man, this guy loves me. But the dude that's not doing it well, she's going to question. Now she's going to start getting insecure. Shit, is it my body he doesn't like? Is it me? Did I queef? And maybe that was it? I don't know. It's going to be like that. She's going to start feeling not confident.
Mm-hmm.
But the man that's doing it well, she walking to work with different energy. Girl, why you glowing? She's saying hi to the bitch she hates. Hey, bitch, we don't like each other. Why are you saying hi to me? Everybody sees she's radiant. What's wrong with her? She's different today. That man. That's what it is. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned into one of the most raw, uncut, unapologetic, no holds barred, intense, real podcast of the S13 Podcast. Peace.